Welcome back to Fox 5 at 8:30 on your Tuesday morning. It is looking and feeling great out there. Blue skies, low humidity, but it's hot. Weather and traffic on the 5s is coming up.
Prince George's County officers trying something new this summer to try to cut down on crime after staggering increases in the number of kids arrested. Arrests of kids and growing violent crime cases continue. So let's go right to the top. Prince George's County Police Chief Malik Aziz joining us to share his plan for curbing crime this summer. Chief, it's always a pleasure. Good morning.
Good morning, Steve. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I got to start with, we were hoping that we wouldn't have any immediate crime to talk about, and then this morning we found out about another homicide just before 5 o'clock this morning in Oxon Hill. Do we know anything about that in particular?
Well, right now, of course, it's a fluid investigation, and we're working through all of the details. Our investigators, our homicide unit, they're on the scene right now and gathering further evidence. But what we can say, right now is that we believe at this point in a moving investigation is that there was some type of confrontation that occurred just before that incident took place. And so that is what we know right now. We do not believe that this is a robbery of the convenience store or it just happened in the immediate vicinity of the store, resulting around something that occurred prior to that.
Understood. And this, of course, investigation less than 4 hours old, so I know we're just getting started here. Let's talk about the bigger picture right now. It is summertime. We know that there seems to always be an increase in crime when summertime rolls around. What are you doing this summer to try to crack down on it and catch up at the very least?
Well, it's one of my three, great summers here. I'm starting on my third one, and we've been putting summer crime initiatives in place as our third consecutive year. This year, we decided to focus around community, crime prevention, and enforcement, but really focusing on three subcategories of the people, the places, and the behaviors that surround crime by identifying in each of our 8 divisions the top location that needed to be placed a heavy focus on each one of those locations. And we are doing that among other locations, but those are primarily what we're trying to or attempting to focus on. We designed some grids, hexagon grids, which we call targeted area action grids, that get down to a really micro level of focusing on just where crime occurs and more of analytical and analysis, especially in the face of challenging times and shrinking workplaces. That's what we're attempting to do this summer.
I know sometimes it takes a little bit of time, especially when you try something like that grid procedure, to see if the results are there. It's one thing when you're dealing with violent crimes. It's another thing when you're dealing with the amount of car thefts and robberies that we've had over the past year or so. In your opinion, and I know maybe it's different in Prince George's County from in the district, especially amongst the young people, why are so many cars being stolen? Why are so many people being carjacked?
Well, I think, it's, while those are related, things revolve around cars, for instance, stolen cars. This year, our increase in stolen cars are still primarily driven by the TikTok challenge or the social media challenge across some platforms, dealing with stealing the turn to start Kias and Hyundais. And that right there put us in an area that is going to be challenging to have a reduction this year. The items that are taken from your car in car burglaries are taken off your car. Everything revolves around that car. It's easier now. Especially in social media times, information travels, intelligence travels pretty fast. So we're getting an uptick in those type of crimes, especially with young people being more tuned to social media and the network that is surrounding that. And they try these different things that cause us much heartache when our property is stolen. But the carjackings, another consecutive year where young people are still in cars. The atmosphere has changed. The environment has changed, where people are having key fobs. It's a little bit more difficult to take your key and start a car, and they are, a variety of things are happening. Some are robbing for, greed, or some are doing it for fun. Others are using it, as some type of, rental car deal or to get from place to place. We've seen a variety of ways that they are wise, the reasons why they are taking these vehicles in carjackings, a violent crime, nonetheless. And we are, it's challenging for us, but we put in place these type of plans to actually make an attempt to drive down those crimes and place those perpetrators into the system, be they juveniles or emerging adults or otherwise.
Sure, and we have heard that from not just your department, but other departments as well, as far as the juveniles, in some cases simply stealing the cars to use them as essentially taxis or to get them from one place to another, in addition to potentially causing other crimes with those vehicles. I want to ask you this, Chief, because obviously law enforcement is multi-layered, and when people hear about crime in Prince George's County or elsewhere, a lot of the immediate response is, well, just make more arrests and you'll take care of it. But you were quoted as saying we can't arrest our way out of a crime problem. What do you mean by that?
Well, Steve, I've been in law enforcement over 3 decades and, heading into, 34th year total. And we attempted to arrest our way out of the problem in the 80s and 90s. And we seen results. The stat sheets, they indicated that we could put a lot of people in jail, but crime didn't actually go down then. We would see in most places another decade, a decade and a half before we would see some benefits of actually driving crime down. There are too many resources available. We have to address this in a holistic way, in multidisciplinary teams, and we have to work together with nonprofit organizations who are focused on the youth. We work with many of those. We have to work with the other entities that we have. We're just one cog in the wheel, and we don't need, and again, at a challenging time, a shrinking workforce, where we're down hundreds of officers across the nation and here, that we need to join with each other to make a more meaningful approach to addressing the young people, making sure that they have resources and opportunities, making sure that they are accountable for their 50% in this equation. And we're moving up to parents, parental accountability. We're moving to community accountability, working in partnership, in a 50-50 partnership with community. Just last night, we graduated the largest class of Citizen Police Academy graduates, attendees, and it's inspiring to know that they're going to take part in part of the structure for that will result in mitigating crime in our communities if we all would just play our small part. So I've seen it on one way, and the other way is now to have no accountability at all, to say, we'll let you go. We'll give you, a slap on the wrist. Police officers will practice some kind of catch and release. It's equally unfocused, and it makes it more difficult for us to actually have a meaningful result if we don't actually come to the middle, not arresting our way out of a problem and not having any accountability in the system. Those two need to meet in the middle.
Chief, we're going to unfortunately have to leave it there for now, but I always appreciate your time, and I always appreciate you joining us to talk more about what's happening in Prince George's County. Looking forward to talking with you again soon.
Well, thank you so much. And I want to remind the watchers, the viewers, to make sure that they participate. Bring your youth out to our Police Athletic League events. They can get that at PGC PAL or across our streaming platforms at pgpd.news or PGPD News. And of course, we're hiring. Come on down every Wednesday.
All right. Thank you, Chief. I appreciate it. That work with the community is so vital. Hold on.